to you by IWCRadio.com. It's the internet's most irreverent wrestling podcast. Now, please welcome Bees, Smoot, Chucks, and Will. This is the IWC.
Hello everyone and welcome to IWC Radio. This is episode 120 and we are coming to you live on youtube.com. I'm your host Martin Nolan and the band is back together. I am being joined by Smoot, Will and Chucks. How's it all going, guys?
Well, good. Hopefully we can get the show broadcasted live this week. So. Yeah,
we kind of had a bit of an issue like last week, this week, week before. Well, we kind of always had an issue, but also we had real serious issues last week. Firstly, we was missing Will, and secondly, every technical problem that we could have kind of happened. So we eventually got a show up, but it wasn't to our wonderful high standards that we hold here at IWC Radio. Yeah. So Phil in the chat room's happy to see us back. Yes, we apologise, Phil. It took a little bit longer than we planned, but we're here. We're here. Chucks, how are you?
I'm fine. Pokemon Go came out this week, so I've been catching some things.
Oh God, you're not you and all.
Well, that well and truly made the show crash.
Just like the Pokemon Go service.
I have no idea. As you know, I am not a Pokemon understanding person.
Pokemon.
That's why you deliberately pronounce it like that.
Pokemon. That's what it's called, isn't it? Pokemon.
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 Sure.
Pokemon? How do you say it? That's what I said, asshole.
No, you said Pokemon. It's Pokemon.
Pokemon. Mon. Oh, so you gotta say it like Stingmon.
Yeah, pretty much like Stingmon. Although there's an accent on the E, so it's Pokemon, not Pokey.
Oh.
But that's, you know, whatevs.
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 Well, I guess you could say we've had a little bit of a situation since last Impact, Stingman.
Okay, so not like that then.
You Pokemon.
Stingman.
Oh. I have no words with Hulk Hogan. It's amazing and tragic and all the same way. So, yes, this evening is UFC 200. There's actually preliminary fights taking place right now, actually. So, a bit strange to be talking about UFC on what is largely a wrestling show, we think. But, yeah, there's kind of something different happening this time around. There's a certain gentleman named Brock Lesnar on it.
Who?
This guy, his nickname's The Beast. He comes out with this really good guy called Paul Heyman. And he likes to do a lot of suplexes.
He also eats and sleeps sometimes.
Oh yeah, only sometimes though.
Yeah, I mean that's like half of his day.
Yeah, can't remember what he does for the other half. I'm not sure. So yeah,
Check this guy out.
You really should. And the good way to do it is UFC 200. I hope we get paid for that.
Sounds like he could beat The Undertaker.
WWE Network?
No. They missed a trip there, didn't they, really, when you think about it? I wonder whether they could have made some kind of deal to actually, even if it was just the Brock Lesnar fight, to actually get that put onto the network.
No chance.
I think they only decided to promote the fight yesterday.
Did they even decide to promote it?
There was nothing on WWE.com until yesterday, and then there was all kinds on like videos and articles and everything. So I think it was a last-minute decision.
Well, this is the
said
thing.
They had no interest in advertising it, right?
Well, yeah.
Well, this
and
is
then
the thing.
Lesnar said that he didn't give a shit.
Well, I mean, Lesnar's been quite strong in the fact that he really doesn't care. This is something that he's just wanted to do for himself, which is fair enough. He didn't leave UFC under the circumstances he wanted to, so obviously he's got the chance of changing it. So hopefully, he gets a bit better outcome for himself tonight. But so he'll be facing Mark Hunt tonight. Now, if you saw the weigh-ins yesterday, this guy's quite a different body type to Lesnar, I think. He definitely doesn't come across as someone that you'd think he'd be struggling against. But yeah, this guy's a serious striker, and I believe Lesnar's not with the bookies as a favourite. Am I right in that, Chucks?
You are right in that.
Yeah. So yeah, this guy's got a very strong striking game. So if Lesnar tries to just have a boxing match effectively with him, a stand-up fight, then he could be in trouble. I think Lesnar needs to take him to Suplex City, but somehow I don't see him hitting 15 German suplexes in a UFC fight. It'd be quite awesome if he tried it. I've just got this image now. Sorry, I was just thinking back to WrestleMania, and if he actually did land a suplex, whether all the screens in the arena would start doing a count for how many suplexes
Just do one.
So yeah, I mean, is this actually the main event of the show? Because I believe
No.
it was when all the controversy happened, but I believe now it's
It was for a couple of hours, and then they
Yeah.
put Tate on that instead.
Yeah.
Because that's for an actual title.
That's quite interesting because obviously that's a female main event, and their biggest.
Well, I mean, it obviously wasn't their first choice or even their second, but right now with what they've got, it does seem to make most sense if they want to end it with a championship match.
Yeah, but I also think that is quite a bold move. Considering that this is UFC 200, this is their WrestleMania kind of thing. This is like their WrestleMania 30 kind of thing. You know, it's their grand.
Well, Charlotte seems convinced that one day the Divas will main event a WrestleMania.
Well, do you think that this could go a long way in just kind of changing that mentality with this kind of thing?
No more than Ronda Rousey already has. She's main evented before. I don't think it would be too surprising if she was on this show.
I know, but I mean, Ronda Rousey's main evented on shows where there's been other fights, but I mean, it's not been high-profile fights. I mean, this has got.
But she is about as high-profile as it gets these days. So if she was on this show, I don't know that anything else would trump her as the main event.
Even
she
Lesnar?
would be.
Is it wrong that I felt a little bit sick when you used the word Trump?
I know. I deliberately used that word.
So you don't think Lesnar will be a bigger attraction?
I was going to say I'm not no
Then
disrespect, but I think if this is the thing, if Lesnar was, well, he is fighting. If it was Lesnar on the card, and you had, say, Conor McGregor on there, and you had I can't think Cormier. I know John Jones is out now, but if those fights were on the card, I don't think Rousey would be going above them.
No, not at all.
Same way
Well, if
that
you
I
had
did-
Not at
Conor
all.
on there, no, because he's a champion too, right?
Yes, but the fight that he had with Diaz was a different weight class, so it wasn't for his title.
Right.
So there was a big controversy about that because he wanted to fight at 200 and he wasn't able to, so it's 202 that he's fighting at, which I don't.
He was an idiot. He played that so wrong.
Yeah, it was all the Twitter thing where he tried to get it all. He basically tried to play everyone into
He
forcing
just screwed
UFC's
himself.
hand. Yeah, it didn't work out.
So did John Jones. Can you imagine a guy that good?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, I found it quite ironic that John Jones got done for. Oh well, you know, something's come up in a drug test that they're going to need to analyse further, but it's seen as a performance enhancer. So obviously, until it was done, they can't let him fight. So he's been pulled out. And with 2 days' notice, Anderson Silva stepped in, and this is also a guy who has had drug problems in the past, which I just thought was a bit weird. But two main guys, John Jones and Anderson Silva, who are largely regarded as legends within the sport, and they've kind of been tainted a little bit with the last few years with things that have happened. I'm not sure how it all panned out with Anderson Silva. There was something, but I might be completely wrong. So if there's UFC fans listening and getting angry with me, I do apologise. But yeah, so anyway.
Do you think that maybe John Jones was hanging out with Roman Reigns?
This is a possibility. It's that's quite strange. It has happened all within the space of 7 days nearly, hasn't it?
Well, and over the next, unfortunately not 7, but more like 10 or 12, huge things are going to happen in wrestling too. I mean, this is like, as a month or even like a fortnight, a lot of big things are happening.
Yeah.
We've got a lot to talk about.
We do. Ed's in the chat room. He says, I'm nervous about seeing Silver fight, considering last time I saw him fight, he did his best Sid Vicious impression.
Oh, God.
Which, for people that don't know, that wasn't his last fight, but yeah, he had a very bad leg break. So, yeah, it's just a strange fight, but it's a big name, you know, so it fits the bill. It'll be interesting to see what happens, so we'll see what's what.
I like Ed's idea of Big Show running in on this match tonight.
Big Show ruins things. We all know Big Show will do a running turn-heel on Dana White by knocking out Brock Lesnar tonight. That's one way to ruin your event.
Mark Hunt wins by disqualification.
I didn't think it could get any worse, but here comes Big Show.
Yeah, Mark Hunt wins by disqualification via Big Show run-in.
Oh, just turn UFC into WWE.
Yeah.
So, without going into too much about what we'll talk about as well, but also Lesnar's SummerSlam match has been announced, which I presume you've all heard.
With Randy Orton. Yeah.
So, Randy Orton, which has had no build, it has just been announced out of nowhere. Doesn't make any sense. It's kind of like a UFC thing where they've just literally announced 2 fighters and that's it. So I don't know whether this is just a style of moving forward, but
I think they wanted to announce something before this fight tonight so they get some sort of publicity from it.
But this is
Try
it
to play
as well.
off of it,
this
yeah.
was the other side of it. I know you mentioned before about how they didn't want to publicise having Lesnar on the UFC card, but surely you would want to. But then again, you're thinking, what happens if Lesnar doesn't win tonight?
Ed says he's not a bad Jones. He's not a good Jones. He's just had a Jones for drugs.
So bad. Had a Jones for drugs. Do you bring Randy Orton back just to get mauled and beaten? Or do you bring him back to be the guy that beats Lesnar?
No. But then
after all this time, you can't just bring him back just to get squashed.
They do like Orton, don't they?
They do really like Orton.
See, I mean, how long has it been now since Orton's been around? It's been one hell of a long time. Surely it's over a year.
I think it's just short of a year.
And has anyone missed him?
No.
No?
Who, missed
really
Orton?
Strange after all this time to bring him back and then have him suplexed 15 times.
Who, missed Orton? No, I don't miss him.
No, of course not. They had a match before Orton and Lesnar in 2002 on SmackDown, and Orton got completely squashed. And I'm guessing, you can find it on YouTube, it's worth looking up, and I'm guessing that Lesnar did more work in that match than he will at SummerSlam. He does nothing these days.
Who, Lesnar or Orton?
Well, but I don't think Orton got one move in the O2 match. He was still wearing those shorts.
I was
Yeah.
going to say,
Yeah.
I was going to say that is not an era to be looking back at for Orton and looking for any kind of ring works, you know.
That's all we have to go on, history between these two.
WWE will probably promote it as the first time ever, you know what they're like.
Do you
They
think...
did mention that they came through on the little announcement thing. And the time in OVW as well, which I was quite surprised actually. I think they did mention that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Edge in the chat just said I hear voices in my head. They give me promos that make the crowd dead. They talk to me.
Wow.
It's nice to see everyone's really looking forward to the return of Randy Orton.
Maybe he shows up tonight at the UFC.
Well, this was also the thing. I was just saying. I was just imagining him in the middle of the fight with Mark Hunt, that he like dives over the top of the octagon and just like RKO out of nowhere.
Sorry, I've got the UFC on at the minute, and what's the ring announcer's name?
Bruce Buffer?
Yeah. Bruce Buffer, yeah. He's got a white suit on, he looks ridiculous.
He's doing it because it's 200, yeah.
Yeah, but he looks ridiculous.
What have you got it on? Have you got a stream
seen...
or are you
It's a stream, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it's 100% legal.
I was just gonna say, we're live from my live, pal.
Streaming right to your TV, whatever it is, BT Sport or something.
BT Sport, yeah.
BT Sport 2. So I'm not sure how. I just don't know. I think WWE are kind of in a hard spot because they've decided not to promote any of this. I think purely for the fact that Lesnar could get beat. Because if there was no kind of like loss of character of what they've built with Lesnar, I think they would be quite happy to promote it and get everything, out there and try and build it up as much as possible. But I think just because they're worried about damaging his character for WWE TV, they're acting like this isn't even happening.
But you can guarantee if he wins, it's going to be all over.
That's what I mean. But then they'll flaming change the tune if he absolutely destroys Mark Hunt, and next minute it's like, oh, look at who we've got. And Lesnar will probably be bloody WWE champion before SummerSlam.
If Lesnar loses tonight, like, what do you think WWE will do? Like, do you think
they'll just act like it never happened? Seriously.
Yeah,
they'll have Orton beat him as well.
Well, that's what I was kind of leading to. Do you think Orton would be the one that would be the guy that beats the one in the 1 and 21 and 1 at WrestleMania? I was trying to do that whole convoluted shtick.
We specialize in convoluted.
Yeah.
Edge just asked, how do deals across the pond take to UFC? Are they into it as Americans? Yeah, there is a lot of people that like UFC over here, and they do well when they do pay-per-views over here as well. Take note, WWE.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just needed to get it off my chest.
I know quite a few people actually who sort of lost interest in UFC and are really into watching this tonight because Lesnar's going back.
Yeah, well, that's it. And I think,
show you what a big draw he is.
Yeah, definitely. It was such a smart move to get him on the card. Because it is instantly. And it's the same thing. Everyone is interested in seeing what Lesnar will do. But there was like a boom period. It was probably, I don't know, it was probably about 05, 06 time. Actually, no, it'd be a bit later than that. It would be about 2007, 2008, I think, where UFC really took off, and I noticed it over here as well quite a bit. I think it was around the time like with George St. Pierre and Anderson Silva when he was on his streak, but yeah, it just seemed to have tailed off a little bit. I think it's gone down, but in the same way, I know a lot of people that will watch UFC tonight purely for Brock Lesnar.
I think only being to understand what I mean is, but I think BT hasn't helped. Being on BT
it's
Sport
not a very
hasn't
big
helped.
channel. No.
BT Sport, yeah.
I think the same happened with the Champions League actually since it went to the BT.
Yeah, well, there's been a lot of complaints over that, and
Yeah.
they're kind of tied into it, but they said as soon as they get the chance, I think it'll be coming off that channel. Just purely because there's not enough viewership on that channel.
Did the UFC not used to have a highlight thing on Channel 5? Or I just made that up.
I don't recall it.
I'm sure there's some sort of highlight show somewhere. I don't think anything was ever live, but...
Because the way that we had it before BT was ESPN.
yeah, ESPN, yeah.
Well, that's the only time I remember it. So Ed's also said in the chat they'll treat a Lesnar loss in UFC like a DV charge against Lawler. They'll sweep it under the rug. Okay. But yeah, I don't expect them to be talking much about it if Lesnar loses, or if they do, they'll put a hero's tail on it, depending on how they want to book him against Orton. But I don't know. I find it very strange, and also I just find it very strange to actually announce that he's going to have a match at SummerSlam. If Lesnar gets absolutely pummeled tonight and gets seriously injured, he ain't going to be competing at SummerSlam.
Yeah, because some people have said that Mark Hunt can smash somebody's face in, like he did it before.
He really can. I'm not being funny. Lesnar had one of his previous fights. You've seen the scar on his cheek. Now, the guy got punched, and it wasn't like a brutal kind of hit that he took to the face, as in like destroyed like your eye socket kind of thing. It literally was just a punch that caught him on the cheek, and his skin just split, and it was quite gross because you could see his cheekbone near enough. And they stopped him from fighting for 8 months after that because he had to let that fully heal because it'll split open. Now, you can say it can heal, but you've seen Lesnar's cheek, that he's got a clear scar on his cheek. If he got absolutely pummeled by this guy, you don't know what kind of damage can be done. And, you know, you're only, how far away from SummerSlam? What, 5-6 weeks at most?
Yeah.
You know, they're taking a gamble by even announcing it, I think. And like you said, it just seemed to be so that they could get some kind of promotion, but then they decided to do it on the day. It's like, what's going on? It's like you don't know what... It just feels like they just don't know what to do with it. It's kind of like you're either going to go and promote it all from the off and just go with it, or you just decide not to promote it at all and act like it's not happening and just do the usual WWE thing of, like, you know, pretending that other things in the world don't exist. They don't even remember half the stuff that exists in their own world, but, you know, there we go.
Just on the UFC TV thing in the UK, by the way, I just did a bit of Googling there. Apparently the TV rights are up, like, this week.
This week?
And it's between BT and Sky. Sky have apparently put a bid in.
Right, I thought that... Is that for in a couple of seasons' time, though? Because I'm sure they said that they had to wait until, even if they've made a decision, I think it wouldn't actually change for another 2 seasons, I think, because the original contract was for 3 years.
Yeah, I mean, they usually are done in advance, these things, aren't they? But
I don't know.
I think it'd be a big thing for them if they went to Sky. It'd be a lot easier, a lot more viewers.
Yeah.
Are you talking UFC or
UFC,
football?
yeah.
UFC, yeah.
Oh, the UFC might. Ah, right, I see.
Sorry, that's UFC.
I was thinking...
No, I think that
yeah,
Beans was talking Champions League, saying seasons and stuff.
Sorry, that's my fault, yeah. All right, yeah, so that would make a difference. It'd be interesting to see how Sky would kind of promote it as well, seeing as they obviously cover the WWE stuff, so see how they kind of... I don't know how they go about that. But hey, we'll see. Welcome to the King of Making Roman Look Strong Style, who has joined us in the chat. If Brock loses tonight, he doesn't look good going into SummerSlam. No, he definitely doesn't. And Mark Hunt hits harder than Kane.
Interestingly enough, while I've had this UFC stream on, every ad break there's been an advert for WWE 2K17.
Yeah, that was a thing that they did.
Well, to be fair, he's on the cover, so I mean...
Well, yeah.
Yeah. But you'd like to... I don't know. I'd just like to think that if I was in WWE's shoes and this happened from the off, I would just make a big deal about it on Raw. Because at the end of the day, everyone knows it's a competition, and Lesnar could win tonight, you know, and it'll all work in their favour. And if it doesn't, they can turn it into a story. You can always do a twist on it. I mean, look at what happened with Seth. He had his serious injury. They did the wonderful documentary for his comeback, and then they screwed it up anyway. But they could do something similar with Lesnar, you know.
They could have Orton duck out of the SummerSlam match and have Mark Hunt rematch.
God.
Yeah, so So he gets absolutely pummeled by him in a UFC fight, and then he goes, right, I'm challenging you to a WWE match, and I have creative control.
I don't know if you break kayfabe.
I booked
You'd
this
say
match
now you fight in my yard,
and
other yard.
I've had a word with Vince, and I'm getting to drop you on your head 20 times tonight. So we'll even the score. But yeah, it should be interesting tonight, and obviously best of luck to Lesnar. He does look in great shape. He really does. I mean, I know that.
Is he going to use his WWE theme?
That's a good question.
Someone said as well.
Yeah.
Someone who I know on Twitter, Stuart Meller, who's actually there, said that he'd heard rumours that he was actually going to come out to his WWE theme, which would be quite interesting. And also, apparently, Cena might be in attendance in the arena.
Oh, big whoop.
I know, but
It'd be really good if Heyman walked out with him. Just
yeah.
Little,
I'd love it if Heyman actually grabbed the microphone off Bruce Buffer.
done the intro.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Just started like
My name.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that would be great.
Yes, so needs to be done.
But apparently, Heyman was supposed to be not there, but I don't know. Things can change.
I'd be surprised if he wasn't there. Maybe not on camera, but I was surprised if he wasn't there because they're good friends, aren't they? So.
Oh, yeah.
I've just got this image now of Lesnar having this fight against Mark Hunt and Heyman gripping up against the side of the octagon screaming, "Oh my God! No! He's killing you, Brock!"
Throws in the towel.
Yeah, throws his phone.
God.
If Paul Heyman intros Lesnar, I'd vote for him to be God of America, said Ben. There we go. That's the thing.
I'm not sure that's a position.
I'm sure that I'm sure if Heyman tried to say it, he'd make it a position. He'd make us believe it.
Yeah.
So yeah. What else have we got this week? We've got the rather crazy world of TNA, I believe.
Yeah. Did either of you see the final deletion segment that they posted on their YouTube page?
I have just watched it tonight.
I have.
I had seen it.
The only thing I have seen is the wacky video that you showed me. That
Oh no, you've got to go and watch the final deletion.
Yeah.
Which
In fact,
I saw.
I think
I
we
saw
should
a
make
bit
you
of the
watch it
trailer.
now and get your live reaction.
Isn't it like a long match?
It's like it's a 20-minute.
minutes.
Yeah, it's a 20-minute long conjoined segment.
I don't know.
But yeah, I'm with Chucks. It's pretty good. Like, it's the Sharknado of wrestling matches.
That's a really good way of putting it, actually, yeah.
I've already got images now of what I might be seeing. Well, no, I haven't actually, but I just know how I'm going to be feeling in that same kind of way of watching Sharknado and just thinking, why am I actually enjoying this?
Well, you won't enjoy it.
Oh, I won't. I'll forget it. I'm not watching.
There's all sorts of things. There's Matt Hardy's Gardner. There's drones. There's one of the dumbest matches you'll ever see. It's great. A dilapidated boat.
Ed in the chat room has just said that I'm now fired from the show because I've not seen the match.
Yeah.
It is kind of crazy. This is one of the biggest things that's happened in a while, and you haven't bothered to watch it.
No, I wouldn't say I haven't bothered. I just
You haven't
But
bothered.
you haven't watched it, so you haven't bothered.
Yeah, you haven't bothered.
you
What do you guys think of... Oh, hold on. I just got a tweet come up, and I have to wait for it to go away for the notification to... There we go. What do you guys think of Shinsuke getting into the UFC? Is this relationship between WWE and UFC continues?
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Never say never. Never say never.
and stuff like daggers.
UFC...
Well,
UFC
I mean, he's done. That's how he started out, isn't it? MMA. I mean, I don't
That
think
was a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't think his aim is to obviously get into this.
What if WWE buys out UFC?
Vince comes out on Raw. I bought my competition after they killed my biggest guy, Lesnar.
After 10 years of insisting that they're not competition.
Didn't he say they weren't?
Yeah, well, we know what it's like. Ed's put, watching TNA videos of reactions to this match is the best. It finally made me like Grado.
I haven't seen the reactions.
No.
That's going a bit far.
I would suggest watching it live on the show to do a reaction, but I think the last time we did that, TNA tried to get us in trouble.
I won't. Well,
yeah, I don't know how we could do that actually.
yeah.
Unless we
Or
just
on
have
YouTube
like
themselves actually. The whole thing's on YouTube on the TNA channel. That's where I watched it before.
That wouldn't stop them from shouting at us.
Yeah.
But they can only dispute our thing if we put the video or the audio on our stream. So if we tell people to queue it up now, hit play when you start watching, and kind of sync it up themselves, then it should work fine.
I mean, I can do this, but then also I've got a kind of. Is there a lot of like
It's
audio?
gonna take 18
stuff
minutes.
Yeah.
Is there like a lot of audio to it that I really need to pick up on?
Yeah.
Not
You
really.
need to watch it.
Yeah.
You need to listen to Matt Hardy's new accent.
There is no. I'll say this. There's no
Oh my
There's no
God.
commentary during the
Do you
match
remember
itself.
Booker? Did you ever see Booker T in TNA?
Yes.
Chet
When
Lemon.
you couldn't really work out if you're supposed to be African or British or like what that accent was.
Chet Lemon.
Chet Lemon.
Yeah.
He was Black Snow.
All right. Either or.
Wow. So Ed says, I will say this with TNA, they did a good job of providing interest content around the final deletion for the rest of the episode, which should engage fans past last week Destination X build.
Yeah, because like they had a decent Destination X match, and some other decent matches as well throughout the show. It's just they finished out with the final deletion as like the main event, and they did a pretty decent job of an attempt to try to hook people into the product. It's just whether or not it's gonna stick, you know? Like if
I'm guessing not, since they're changing nights again.
yeah, like oh my god, in 2 weeks, I believe that, yeah, in 2 weeks they're going to be moving back to Thursdays because SmackDown's
taking their night.
yeah.
Dear.
Swap it back over.
So, did you mention as well that this match doesn't have commentary, so I don't have to listen to Josh Matthews?
Correct.
Yes, that's
Wow.
a bonus.
That is not just a bonus, that's like a major selling point.
And the music that they play isn't half bad.
Music that they play?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Oh, this isn't
of
like
mute
New
music?
Jack.
It's New Jack.
No, there's not like an actual song going on. It's just kind of, it's more like a film. There's
Oh
it's like-
no!
non-diegetic music.
A film.
So there's a
But
bit
it
of
is like it's when there's an action scene going on and you've got some
Yeah,
music.
no, I agree with that. Yeah.
So we got a bit of Hans Zimmer going on in the background to create the mood for the fight.
Or
Pretty much, yeah.
Zons Himmer, as EC3 put it.
What?
It was a joke.
He actually made a reference to Hans Zimmer on
On
TNA.
Twitter. On Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter.
Yeah.
Alright. I'm quite impressed, nevertheless. Sorry, I like Hans Zimmer. I don't know. Am I watching this now or am I watching it after the show? Is this going to be too boring for people, or is it gonna
It
be
might.
that wacky that I
If
will
we can't
actually
show
have to-
it, if we can't show it, then I don't want to risk not having a stream for like whatever it
We
was
should
2 weeks.
Maybe do it at the end of the show as like an optional extra that people can stay on to listen to or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
I don't know. I have a thing to get to after the show here immediately. So
Oh, that's true. No,
Well,
we'll work something out. We'll get you to watch it one day.
yeah,
yeah. I can always hold off and watch it another week.
sure.
It's not going to kill me.
Another question.
Although
Another
if there's
question
that
from
much
the
talk about it, then I might.
another question from the chat asking, what do you guys think about Big Cass? For me, it seems he's talking more than Enzo now, and you can tell creative are messing with Enzo's lines. They're so corny. I don't know about the last bit, but Enzo took like a really nasty spill on SmackDown this past Friday. Is that what's it? Thursday?
Yeah,
right?
Thursday.
Whatever
The new
SmackDown.
Tuesday.
Yeah, whatever
Which used to be a
SmackDown airs
Friday.
on. And yeah, it looked pretty bad. Like I'll try to get a gif of that on the stream here, real
God.
quick.
He didn't go and smash his head on an apron again, did he?
He came close.
No. Yeah, I don't know with Enzo. I just think it's going to get old really quickly. I know they're really over at the moment with everyone, but I just think that there needs to be a little bit more depth to him. Even though he's
I think they're going to kill it with Big Cass. If they keep pushing Cass as like this, the star of the team, then it's not going to work.
I keep reading and hearing these things that they're planning to have Big Cass take on Brock Lesnar as well. And it's just like, really?
There's a lot of people seem to be pretty worried that they're going to split him up in the draft too.
Well, yeah.
That would be the worst thing for both of them.
Do you think that there's an end of the New Day coming as well?
They would have to be really stupid. So, possible.
Well, I don't know. It's a bit. Oh, I think Smoot's got a gif up of it. Whoa! That did not look
Where's
clever.
that gif?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
He caught his
Not
feet
showing
on
up
the
on my
ropes.
stream.
So yeah, Ed's mentioned your thoughts on the Xavier New Day promo from Raw showed huge development in my opinion. Well, this is it, because I mean they've been slowly building this for the last few weeks, haven't they? Where you can see Xavier like kind of not in a trance as such, but he's kind of getting distracted by it, or he's getting fear from the Wyatts. And then this week he obviously did the walkout thing, and I don't know. I mean, obviously, I can't say any of it's a legitimate thing, but there was something I saw rumors saying that apparently Big E might be the one to turn heel on the group. I don't know. I'm worried that they are going to break them up, but I don't want New Day to become stale as well in the same essence. There needs to be a nice balance between it, so I don't know if it's one of them where you do the turn now, so at least you always remember them as being a hot team, or do you try and keep it going as long as you can? I don't know.
I think you keep going until there's a sign that it's not working anymore, and they haven't had that yet.
Do you not think there's been a couple of times, though, where things haven't worked as well as what they would have done a while back?
Not to the point where I think it's time to end it.
That's a fair point.
They're still over. They're still especially this week on Raw. It seemed like they were the fan favorites of the whole show. Definitely more than Cena. That Cena promo, the worst of Cena when he comes out and rowdy crowd tonight. Why aren't you cheering more? Hate that guy.
Maybe Cena's gonna do a run in and at UFC tonight and
If
beat the
Lesnar
crap
was,
out of Mark Hunt and Brock Lesnar and no sell any
I
kind.
was going to say the opposite. If Lesnar was beating up Hunt, had him in mount or whatever, and he was just about to finish him, Cena runs in, takes an F5, and then Lesnar goes right back to finishing off Mark Hunt. Lay them both out.
Imagine if it happened. Just how stupid Cena would look.
Here's a potential finish to the UFC,
Oh, wow.
UFC 200 match right there. Yeah.
I'm not being funny, but the way that they've edited that, it makes Lesnar look like a dad on a holiday and he's falling over drunk next to a pool.
A dad. A bumbling dad.
Yeah, he does. It really looks. I don't know. His legs look kind of scrawny, even though they're not.
Ed's asking me if Enzo has ever done that spot without Cass throwing Enzo over the ropes. I have no idea.
Ed, you're asking Smoot that?
Yeah.
Like, Smoot's seen like Enzo and Cass for about 3 weeks now.
anyone seen the Breaking Ground special?
On-
A few weeks ago.
On what?
No.
It was a bit of like a sort of look back of, because there was the series, wasn't there? There's like a one-off special for WrestleMania weekend.
It was like a reflection thing, weren't it? I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you've seen Ender and Cass being told that they were going up. They seem to be very emotional.
So they didn't finish it off by going, "You can't teach that."
Oh God.
And then Triple H went into the locker room to thank them for the good show they'd just done for the takeover special. And then bought them all cake, which I thought was a bit weird. He did.
Did anyone's
Massive
face
cake.
go into the cake?
No.
What?
He gave a knife to Nakamura and he took the first slice.
Huh.
Weird. Anyway.
Can't imagine a cake without it going into someone's face.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, why didn't Heath Slater get chokeslammed through it?
Who pied Kevin Owens?
I know. Don't get me started on that segment.
The
from
cameraman,
Raw.
wasn't it?
Exactly. What was that?
That-
And then he got angry, and then he ate a bit of the cake, and he seemed happy, and then he got angry again.
Okay, no, that was great. That was Kevin
And then-
Owens making the best of it.
Yeah, but it's just like, but who's in front of you? What happened? Why are you eating the
he say-
cake?
Didn't Owens say that WWE's technology is so good that we could see through his eyes for a second?
Yeah, the who pied Kevin Owens is the new who was driving the white Hummer.
And is it wrong that my first reaction was, it's definitely Hornswoggle?
Oh God.
Yeah, it is. You should be
Why was he
ashamed.
under the table?
He was hiding. He didn't want to get food all over him.
Yeah.
He just kind of took his.
Took a bag of Lay's and just was like, "Fuck it, I'm not getting messed up for this."
Just sat
Yeah,
under the
it's like
table,
something
quite happy with himself, and just.
That's like
Do you know
something
the thing
Big Show
that-
would do, though?
The thing that really annoyed me is that as soon as it started, I was just like, "Oh God, here we go again." It looks like a flaming 6-year-old birthday party where everyone's sat around tables with flaming plastic plates and shitty hats.
Did
And
you
then-
see? Sorry, go on.
No, it was just like you got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the same room, and you're thinking, why are they there? Why is the two people that hate each other in story sat near each other? And why is Darren Young there? Like, you've been doing this thing for ages, and he's sat in the corner, and I'm like, what? Why? Sorry, it just got me frustrated.
Obviously.
What? Who was the other ones? You had the vaudevillains start singing. I can't remember who was sat near him. The bloody Ascension was sat there eating cake.
In their
all the
gear.
gear.
In their gear, yeah.
It's just like, what?
The best was Cesaro and Apollo Crews. Everyone was arm wrestling for the whole thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they just stayed there.
Just stayed in one position.
But I don't know. It just really frustrated me because it was just like, I kind of watched it and I thought, do you know the one time where you missed the 25-minute opening chatting boring segment on Raw? That was it. I don't know. I don't know, I was in that mindset when I watched it and I thought, I just wish that this would be a little bit more realistic or a little bit more engaging and didn't feel like it was designed
more
for 5
realistic.
people. And then
These are
next-
grown adults.
and then I'm watching it and I'm
Realistic
sitting there,
would be that they all just eat some food. It takes a
no,
couple of
the
hours. and
realistic thing is it wouldn't be sat in the back eating that shit.
I don't know. Maybe,
They've got a fucking one of the world's best catering companies apparently that goes with WWE, and they all go on about how great it is. Do they all really sit there eating food like that, like with little paper plates? It just oh, sorry. Ed just said, "What's worse for WWE? Shining Stars still doing backstage promo, or the Golden Truth lyrics on the lower third?" when they make-
I counted the number of times that R-Truth raps golden truth.
The golden truth.
How many times do you think he says the golden truth in that, just in the bit that was on Raw?
20.
I would say about
Too
9.
many. Too many.
Well, too many is right. It's only 5, but I think
The golden
1
truth.
would be enough.
Yeah.
See what I mean? I'm watching a kid's birthday party on Raw with grown men that end up throwing food at each other. Then I've got one coming out doing karaoke on TV. I've got
I've been to
Cena
many
talking
kids'
to me.
birthday parties when I was a kid.
Exactly.
And they never ended up in food fights.
No, but when doesn't anything end in food fights with WWE?
Well, you were
Can
asking
you-
for realism, but that's what do you want.
What do you mean? What? I don't want to watch wrestlers eating food. I don't want them anywhere near food because I know that WWE will put them where they have to throw it at one another.
So you would prefer someone
I would
comes out, so
prefer
like
for
the Miz shows up to open the show with a promo and says, "By the way, we just had a really nice 4th of July barbecue back there. We all ate some hot dogs and no one threw food at each other. It was great."
If that meant that he moved on and we got some better television, yes.
Fair enough.
I'm just, it's like anytime I think of food, what is it? Like Thanksgiving, we got to throw a turkey at each other. And Halloween, they've got to dress up like flaming fancy dress and end up throwing food at each other.
Yep.
It's just, why? Smoot, on the 4th of July, did you throw food at anyone?
No.
Do you throw food at people on Thanksgiving?
No.
Okay, there's my point.
Sure.
This is
But at the
wrestling,
same
it's
time-
supposed to be-
Exactly, it's wrestling.
At the
Not
same-
Food Fight Central.
Yeah.
Schmidt, do you hit people with chairs to resolve issues?
I would love to.
Say yes.
I would love to, but no.
No, what
See?
he meant to say is he does, but he makes sure he doesn't hit them unprotected in the head.
Yes, there's always a jab to the gut and then
Clean one to the spine.
yeah.
Make sure you hit him as flat as possible.
Fair point.
I don't know what you're on about. Well, anytime I need to finish off an argument with someone, I just pull the sledgehammer out and wrap my fingers around the end of it and make sure that I hit them with my hand.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Should we get on out of here? Should we get on out of here? It's getting close, and it's getting close to the actual like real matches of UFC, and
Yeah, where they won't have a fucking food fight.
where they that's exactly right.
Brock Lesnar and Matt Hunt will not start throwing pizzas at one another.
Although, how great would that be if that actually was like the match?
On this one occasion, I might at least see what it's like. That might be it. Mark Hunt might have been the one that pied Kevin Owens.
You gotta be really careful how you say Mark Hunt.
I was gonna say.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah, but I made sure I said it right. I did say it right. I did say it right. Didn't I?
Yeah, you've been fine so far. You just have to be careful.
I really tried to make sure that I said that right. But I'm
You
now
did.
doubting myself.
You did.
No, you did. I'm just.
You've been fine.
You did.
Okay. Paranoia kicking in. In the chat, The Miz gets cake thrown at his jacket and then he begins to have a food fight, but Ambrose wipes a sandwich on his jacket and then he attacks him.
Yeah, because Ambrose is a lunatic.
Yeah.
Simple.
He's crazy.
Yeah. All right.
Souffle City, bitch.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey,
I'll give you that, Ed. That's good.
Gordon Soley souffle.
We're only a few minutes away from the main card of UFC starting, so I suppose we'll make tracks to let people get ready to watch
Yeah.
the real fighting.
And I'll be
the
on Twitch.
non-food version. Is there any other bits that we just want to talk about quickly before we wrap up?
No, I think we covered all the bases here for the most part.
There's that, the cake. Sorry.
Dude, sending me a picture of the cake?
Yes.
Oh my god, you are. Oh, that cake.
Oh yeah.
I'll fair enough. Yeah. That's a bit worrying when a wrestler's giving someone a knife.
Here, I'll throw it up on the stream here.
It's a bit strange
Well,
to see
yeah,
on
you
the
don't
feed.
give the big angry Japanese man a big knife. So.
Yeah. I'll.
Anyway.
Yeah. That happened. So. Yeah, we'll leave it at that one. So yeah, thank you very much for tuning into the show. Smoot's now put the angry person with a knife on the stream, which I'm sure will get us flagged for something. But don't forget to follow the show on Twitter at the IWC Radio. If you want to send in questions for next week's show, use the hashtag IWC Radio. You can follow us all on Twitter if you look in the description. It's got all our Twitter handles if you want to follow us. But yeah, thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoy UFC 200. We'll be back next week to talk all the fallout, see what happens.
And the draft and everything next week.
Oh God,
And
yeah.
the draft is next week, so we'll be having a further look at that one. So
Yeah.
So I will say thank you very much for listening, and I'll finish with Ed's comment in the chat where it says Chinese New Year, Sushi City, bitch.
That's a terrible.
That's Japanese.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to go out on.
That's a terrible.
Yeah, that's like the worst.
Well, it could be worse. It could go out like Smoot did last week, where was it last week or the week before, where you just said I don't have anything to go out on, so bye.
Well, technically, I still don't have anything out. I still don't have anything to go out on.
Time to try and get you to find something wonderful to make up for the Sushi City. I can't even say it.
Here. See you next week, everybody.